Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince, and in this video today we're going to be trying to fix up this old ultrasonic cleaner. These things still go for pretty good money. This is a Bandelin Sonorex TK52 and it was sent in to me by Mike from My Retro Watches. He got this and another ultrasonic cleaner in a job lot of watch parts. He fixes watches on his channel, manual, automatic, even things like tuning fork watches. So if you're interested in watch repair, you can check out My Retro Watches. Now Mike said that he did take the screws out, had a look on the inside, but he couldn't see what was wrong. I think he said there was it looked like I think he said a burnt fuse or some burnt components. He plugged it in and it smelt bad and loads of smoke came out of it. I'm not going to plug it in. I see that in the box there is this, and this is XY, so this looks like the remains of some safety capacitor, but this might be from the other ultrasonic cleaner, not this one here. So yeah, we'll take it over to the mat, take it apart and see if we can see anything obvious and see if we can get this working again. It would be well worth fixing because of the price of them. It's just whether or not I'll be able to fix it, I'm not sure. If you haven't seen my videos before, taken purely for entertainment, not as how-tos. I've never looked at an ultrasonic cleaner before, so I will just be fumbling my way around, maybe the same as a DIY dad that just likes to try to attempt to fix his own things. Let's get started and see if we can get this cleaning again. Right, let's try to get into it. I can see that Mike's got 4 screws here, so I presume this comes down here. Oh wow. It's all very, very tight. I think I'm going to have to take, well, that's all soldered on, so I can't even undo that. I'm just going to free up some room. That's glued to that, not anymore. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That's soldered there. So that can be undone. They can be undone. They can be undone. And the earth can be undone. I'm going to take pictures. But that's yellow and yellow. Maybe it doesn't make a difference. I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little mark here and a mark on the board, and the rest can be, I can take a picture of the rest. And also this one here, I'm going to put a mark on the board and a mark on one of these. Right, it hasn't actually been plugged in months, so I'm hoping there's no power left in it. I wonder if that's had a repair, because that looks different than all the others. There we go. Right, so what have we got in here? So that's the transducer thing, because I've watched a couple of videos on repairing these. And this is the timer. So this is going to be putting power through, you know, when you go to there or when you go around to there. I presume all that is going to be working, and we have a little light here that's attached into the timer. So I'm assuming that that's all going to be okay. And this little capacitor thing, this X2 thing, doesn't look like it's part of here. So that must be to do with the other one. Right, now this all looks quite complicated, but it doesn't look like there's a million components on here. I have zero idea what that massive thing is. It's caked in dust. Oh, annoyingly, all the markings are just rubbing off it. I'm going to take a picture of that because, well, I've rubbed the markings off it now. The paint's all lifted. There's a chance that the video camera picked it up. Hopefully it's not faulty. So let's go to continuity and check this fuse here. No, so that fuse is blown as well. So where's the other fuse from? Or did maybe Mike put a new oh, maybe Mike had these fuses. Yeah, because there's a fuse here. That doesn't look very healthy either, does it? Don't even know what they are. Right, so that's a replacement fuse. I wonder, is it the correct one? 0.8 amps, 250 volts. This all looks quite rusty. 0.8 amps, 250 volts. Right, okay. So Mike has kindly given me a fuse. Looks like we've got a bridge rectifier here. So power's coming in here. I think we need to follow the path round. The transducer was on these two bits. And then the rest is just for the switching. So I presume two are going to be for the infinity when it's always on. And well, let's check that, shall we? And then the other two must be for the timer. So let's put it to infinity here, and we're on continuity. Nothing there. Have we got anything on these two? Yeah. So those two, or those two? Okay, and now let's go to let it just go to off. This should now be on. Even in here it smells bad. So nothing there. Something there. Okay, I think that's probably working fine. So are these a load of capacitors? Or are they some sort of resistors? And why are they like this? Looks like they come from the same source here and then go off to that one and that one. Let's check if this fuse has gone. So we've got earth, got live, and we got neutral. So that's all okay. I think I'm going to undo this, take out the board, and then we can follow the tracks on the other side and we can start measuring some components. Yes, we're free. Should we see to begin with if there's a short? So we've taken the fuse out, haven't we? So the live's going through the fuse. Should we see if there's a short between here and here? No. So here, it's going to end up here. So there's no short there. I want to see what's happening with these things. It looks like they all come from That's weird. It doesn't even seem to have any solder through there. Oh, do you know what? I don't think they are connected there. I think they're connected to each other and go up to here maybe. And then they're just glued down. Yeah, they're not connected there. So, is there a short between here and here? I presume that's the problem. Yes. And if there's capacitors, there shouldn't be, and that's probably what knocked out the fuse. I'm just going to check these things here, because these are going to be transistors to drive, I presume, the ultrasonic. So let's just go to diode. Right, so read in there. Read in there. Swap the leads around. No reading. No reading. No reading. No reading. 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 I think they might be okay. Let's just see these diodes here. They are in circuit. Reading. No reading. This is looking promising. No reading. Reading. I wonder, could it just be them? I think we need to start separating out these mystery components and seeing which one has failed, which I presume, because we got, mind you, it looks like something else has blown onto that. Let's start giving them a bit of a clean up. Hopefully we won't get rid of all the markings from here. Ooh, unless of course it's this that's failed. I don't know, would the black have come out from here and just splattered on here? Because, you know, these might be resistors for all I know. I kind of need to see the marking. I can't see the marking on them. Let's just see if there's anything, if this capacitor here reads different than this one. Because if you have a look here, can you see we've got a bit of brown here, which we haven't got on here. And also it looks a bit different up top here compared to that one. 0.22. And I can't see what that one is. Maybe it's that's failed. And that's going across the live and the neutral, isn't it? So maybe it was short and now it's just... well, mind you, should it not work? Because it should pass it through. First of all, let's just see if we do have any reading on it. That's all over the place, but it's definitely not a direct short. And the same with that one. Let's see if we can get any capacitance. I know it's in circuit. 5.4-ish. No, maybe not. Unless, of course, it's reading that one because it's going through, you know, through this thing. Is this a, this is some sort of choke. Yeah, okay. Let's turn our attention back to here again. Also, looks like a little bit of water damage here. Could be old flux residue. Now I would use IPA, but this isn't hot glue, it's like a silicone thing. So I don't think IPA is going to make much difference in taking this stuff off. Well, as far as I can see, they're all soldered together there. So why don't I get the soldering iron, melt this, try to separate them, and then we might find that one of these has shorted. I still don't know what they are though. RS components. I can't see all the way round. See, there's a chance that this is now blown open, but it's a safety capacitor, I think. So if, I know we're getting a reading, but that could be from this one. If I was to put a fuse in here now, it might just work. Maybe what happened is, when Mike plugged it in, this went short, it blew the fuse, and it might work now. If I put this fuse in, it might just work. I don't know. I think I'd like to, because I've got a short across here, I think I'd like to just eliminate this, just in case these are capacitors. This is draining the heat away very well. Let's add some leaded solder to it. I can't get past the silicon. There we go. I'm starting to separate, I think. Right, that's one done. There. So that's two separate. This will give me a chance to read them now. Another one done, and that one. There we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. I bet they're all going to test short. I'm going to say that this has failed, and it's exploded across here. Right, okay, now, so I am going to have to go on this side of the board here. Ooh, no short on that one. Looks like one of these have failed then. Hold on, is the short? Yeah, no, the short's coming from here because it's going to be going through, a massive coil, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So what we're testing is that one there, which is going that wire. So what we're measuring is the actual, oh annoying. We're measuring the coil of the transformer. But these are all going to be, I bet you these are all fine. Okay, yeah, let's just test. Let's test from here to here. Right, so that one's not short. That one's not short. That one's not short. Is that the 3 on this side? Yep. Now let's go to the other side. That's not short. That's not short. And that's not short. So there's nothing wrong with them. So that blackness was just coming from elsewhere. Shall we check these for capacitance? It says 0.01 1500 volts. 0.01/20. Don't quite know what that means. Let's just see if they are. Still don't know if they're capacitors. I'm going to say they are. Let's see if we can get a reading. Okay, so that's quite nice. Yeah, 10. So that looks like it's that's a round figure, so I presume that's correct. 10. 10. So maybe they didn't have a big enough capacitor, so they just put all these in series with each other, but all in parallel. Yeah, in parallel, isn't it? 3 lots in parallel. There. There. Right, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that that has been... should we unsolder that, take it out of the circuit completely? Let's try to take that one out, because it doesn't look right with this black here. I think it's come out from here and spread across the board. There we go. Now I'm pretty sure these don't make a difference which way they go in. Oh, there we go. It's cracked right the way through. I don't think I noticed that when it was on. Well, we found the faulty component. You see there? I'm just going to take a picture of this here so I know which way it goes in, but I don't think it's polarity conscious. A lot of the stuff I work on is newer stuff, so when it comes to older stuff like this, it's all very new to me. So we're going to test that, see what it's doing. So I suppose it hasn't been used in years, and then it got turned on, and this had shorted internally with 240 volts across it and blue. Because this has 240 volts AC straight across it. Let's go to capacitance. There's no short on it now. 0.22. 0.92. So I need to buy one of these X2 capacitors. I will actually buy 2 of them
because if this one's failed, the other blue one in the circuit is the same age, so it could fail in a day's time or a week's time or 6 months' time. So it'd be best, I think, in this instance to replace both of them. As far as I know, there's nothing wrong with these yellow banana capacitors, so I'm going to put them all back together. I'm going to solder them all up and then use some hot glue to put them back to the board. Originally there was silicone there, and I think the silicone's there because of vibrations. An ultrasonic cleaner is going to have a lot of vibrations, so they put silicone there. I don't have any of this silicone, so I'm just using hot glue to glue it to the board. Just a little dollop. Hopefully it will help. If you could tell me what silicone they use on circuit boards, I might well get some. As long as it's not the sort of stuff the same as bathroom silicone, where you use it for one job, go back to it 3 months later and it's rock hard, because realistically I'm only going to be using this silicone very occasionally, so I don't want to be just using 5 pence worth and then the whole £10 tube thrown away because I haven't used it in 3 months. But you never know, it might come in some kind of like toothpaste type tube, in which case then I can just take a bit out and it might not go rock hard on you the same way that bathroom silicone does. I'm soldering this back up now. As far as I know, there is no fault here. The reason I thought there was a fault is because they were testing short, but they were testing short because they're going onto a transformer, a coil of wire. So that's where the short was coming from, not the actual bunch of capacitors. So I think the only problem here is the X2 safety capacitor has completely shorted and then went up in smoke, and now the short's been blown open. So there's no short there now, but maybe if I was to put 240 volts in, it might start conducting across again. So I need to have a look on eBay and see if I can get any of these old looking capacitors.
Do you know, I've just noticed here, because I was thinking it looks quite old, but look, made in West Germany, Berlin. So I'm not sure when the wall came down. I remember it in my lifetime, so I would say that this is probably from the 80s, before the wall came down. 1989, so this has to be older than that. Right, they're definitely available, but they're quite expensive because of delivery. And you've got to be careful, a lot of them have different microfarads. See, this is 0.22 microfarad. But there's this one here, which is interesting. It's £5.50 for 6 of them, free of charge delivery. Thing is though, they're new old stock. I don't know if these fail just from age or because they've been used for so many years. They might just fail from age. So if these are old, then they're still going to be old, but they're certainly the right size. Wimmer MP3, and it's got X2 written here somewhere, I've seen it. X2 GPF, 250 volts, 250, 0.22. And if you have a look at the size, I know they look slightly different, but they are the same size. So I presume because these have these markings on that, they're going to be a lot newer than this one here. And you can see that these look to be about 27mm, and that one really looks to be about 27mm if you look at the body. Right, I've bought the ones on eBay, the new old stock. The problem is I don't know how old they are, you know. It could be just a couple of years, or it could be maybe 15 or 20 years old. So I might have made a mistake. Looking up, people are saying you can just replace them with like a Wimmer one, MKP X2. At the end of the day, it is just a capacitor, isn't it? And the newer ones would have better technology. Newer technologies, you know, so they're like rated for a higher voltage and stuff. So I'm wondering if something like this would do. You see here, it's 22.22 microfarad, 310 volt, while this is only 250 volt. So maybe something like that, although it's probably going to be a lot smaller and I'll have to bend the legs, that might actually be a better job. Oh, I think I might have jumped the gun, you know. MKP is also a replacement, a modern replacement. It means metallized polypropylene film capacitor, MKP. And if you look here on eBay, because if I go to DigiKey or CPC, I've got to spend like £30-ish for delivery. And right now, I've ordered quite a lot recently. I don't want to buy anything more. So I can get 2 of them on eBay for £4.99. I can't see the make. I think it says TC, but I presume it's going to be okay. And if you have a look, X2 safety capacitor, 275 volts AC, 0.22 UF. It's got a pitch of 22mm, which is the same as this one, and radial, which means they both come out the same. It's not axial where it comes out the opposite sides of the capacitor. They're both on the same side, so that's correct. And it says here it's a safety capacitor, MEX X2 MKP, don't know what MEX means, suppression interference capacitors, and the dimensions look to be roughly the same size, you know, like 8mm, this is 10mm, 16mm, this is 22, and 20 something wide, 26 wide. So I think it's just modern technology. It will probably be way better than this pitch 22mm. I think these will be just fine. So I'm going to buy these because new old stock really could be 20 years old. I might put them in and they might fail instantly. So I'm going to get these ones here. Ah, do you know, this is nice attention to detail. I was wondering why the bag that Mike gave me was all dirty. It's because from manufacture, this was stuck there with a spare fuse inside. Isn't that nice? So they put a spare fuse in, and that's what you did. That should have been the telltale sign. I'll have to look back at the beginning of the video, but I think that that would have been sellotaped across here, folded up across here, and you can see the explosion coming from here onto here. So I was wondering how that got dirty. It's because it was always in there. So obviously 40 years ago, that was put in there when this was made, which is nice because they weren't worried about the tiny pennies. You know, customer satisfaction was more than the few pennies they would have saved on that. I like that. Right, when this new one arrives, I'll replace both of them with the new ones and we'll plug it back in and see if it works.
A few days later.
Right, it's been maybe 5 or 6 days later and these capacitors have arrived. I still haven't got the new old stock ones through, but I think it would be a good move to put in 2 of these instead. So having a look here, they do say 0.22 microfarad times 2, so it's an X2 capacitor, and it says MKPX2, it says up here MKP. So I'm hoping these are just going to be just fine, and then it leaves me 2 spares to use in future. Right, do they fit nicely? Oh, look at that. Perfect. Now, how much should I leave off the board? I'm just going to leave a tiny little bit off the board like that. Right, let's take this one out and then we're going to pop these ones in.
So there we have it, we found the faulty component. If you knew more about electronics you would have spotted that straight away, but I thought it was coming from the banana looking capacitors over there. But you live and learn. I have actually fixed up a quad amplifier in the past which also had a faulty one of these caps that had failed and also a blown fuse. So I should have known that and this fix would have been a lot quicker. But anyway, hopefully we've got there eventually. So I'm going to take out the other capacitor, put in the 2 new yellow ones, and hopefully this will be working again. I have to put new thermal paste on. I also put a little bit of Loctite on the screws where they go through the transistors to keep them in place. And then when I'm putting it back together, I realised that I'm going to unsolder the capacitors one more time and push them fully down because there's going to be a lot of vibration on here, and if I have them sticking up they might be kind of vibrating a lot, while if I push the capacitors right down to the board the yellow case of them will be making contact with the board, and I suppose they're less likely to wobble and maybe put strain on the tiny little legs. Now whilst I'm doing this, I'll shout out the My Mate Vince Massive. They are the top level Patreons over on, you guessed it, Patreon, and the members this month are Keymon Services, Kip Hakes on YouTube, Max Rokotansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeps.com, DJ VG, Pixie, Anthony Dean, Russ Melanson, Ricard Bergland, Shamsa Al Sawadi, Stuart Park, Stephen from the Broken Past on YouTube, Lee Benz, AJ Computer Services UK, and David Delay. Massive thanks to each and every one of you. Right now we have the capacitors in, it is all cleaned up, it is back together. Let's see now if it's going to work, or is it going to go pop, bang and smoke again straight away.
Okay, I'm filmed with just water. Do you know what I was just thinking? There's no heat, is there? Because we had 4 wires going to from the timer at the front here to the circuit board, and then because we got like infinity and you know the actual timer, and then we just had the other two earths, and then we had 2 red and blues going up to the
transducer, Vince, transducer. So yeah, no heat on this one, only ultrasonic cleaning.
Right, I've got some foil. Let's see now. Just get that just below the surface.
I'm using some aluminium kitchen foil here. I've seen it in other videos, and if the actual ultrasonic cleaner is working, we should get tiny little holes appearing on the foil. But this foil is actually quite good quality, so I think it's a little bit thicker than other supermarket foils, but hopefully we will still find some sort of damage.
Right, I'm going to be brave, and I am going to just lean over and do this. I hope it doesn't go bang. So I'm going to plug it in now. Let's see, after all these years, is it going to work? So I'm plugging it in. Hold on. Now, I'm in. I'm in. I'm going to move off my chair so I can run. I'm not going to put it to infinity. I'm going to put it round to 5, and we'll see what it does. Wish me luck. Fantastic. I can hear it, and the green lights come on the front. Hopefully you can see a few bubbles. Okay. I'm not sure if 5 minutes is going to be long enough to make any holes in the foil. And maybe this needs to be lower, I don't know. Well, so far so good. Right, I'll just fast forward through this bit. Oh, I can start to see damage. Just in the middle here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but just around this area, it's just off camera. Let me zoom out. But in fact, you can see it. You can see it spreading across there because the transponder is in the middle. So that's going to be the most powerful part. Excellent. So it is actually doing ultrasonic. Brilliant. Right, we have stopped, and it's still ticking, but it's gone past that point. And hopefully you can see, well, I can actually see there's bits of foil flying around in here. And can you see that there's a little bit of damage just here? There you go, you can see it. So I think that is working. Right now, I want to put some old coins in here. I don't want to just rest them on the bottom. Bear with me, I need something that I can put in here that will lift them off the bottom. Right, I've got a load of old coins here. These are all before 1940 something, so they're 50% silver, which is nice, so I feel like a pirate. So I am going to put some water in here, and I think I'm going to put a few in here. Because, I mean, they are going to be off the bottom. And I'll put a few on top as well. Right, here we go. I've put some washing up liquid in it. This fairy lemon here. I don't know if I put too much in, so it might end up all frothing up around the place. Right, let's turn it on. And we're going to put it on. Let me just see if infinity works. Yes, it does. Okay. Right, let's put it all the way to 15. And we'll let it do its thing. Now, because these are tarnished, I'm not sure if they're going to come out any cleaner at all. I think if it was dirt, then it would get it out. But because it's tarnished, I don't really think it's going to make much difference. But we'll see. I'll let it do 15 minutes and then we'll see what it does. Right, we are done. When it goes to that 1 minute one there, it makes quite a bang when it turns itself off. Right, I'm just going to unplug it. I don't think this has made any difference at all. Let's just get the green one here. Let's see if anything is going to come off. No, I don't think so. I think that's going to need Brasso to clean that. Well, that's interesting. So I just turned that upside down, well, emptied it out, turned it upside down, and look, every one of these is now the same colour. I mean, look at them compared to, for example, this one, which was already a relatively clean one. You can see that there's a big difference there. So it looks like all the ones that were facing the bottom did actually get clean. So now let's turn them all this way to see, is this side dirtier? No, not really. So, I mean, it can't be coincidence. All of the ones that were on top are, on both sides, are a different colour than these ones here. So all of these were on the in the tub.
So I think possibly it has made them better. Unless I'm imagining it. Anyway, we've seen on the tin foil there was definitely holes there, and you could see, you can hear that it sounds like an ultrasonic cleaner. The water might well be a little bit murkier than it was before, so I think actually it has done a little bit of cleaning. So there we have it. I made a little bit of a meal off that, but it should be obvious now, especially I'm going to look at Mike's other one. I might do that on a tea break fix. If something hasn't been used in a long time and it's old, when you put power in it again, it's quite likely that those caps on the input would crack and then fail. And then I suppose they're going to let out a hell of a smell and a smoke and create a bit of a mess. But maybe then if a fuse was put back in again, maybe it would work. But it's not going to be doing the nice clean filtering for the rest of the house, or maybe it might damage the circuit further. You put down what you think in the comment section. Clearly the capacitors should be in there. I'm going to be giving this back to Mike, so if anybody's seen anything in the video which isn't right, please let me know and it will give me a chance to remedy it before I give it back to him, because I've got a feeling that this will be put back into operation. Now, although you can see it's a well-made product, does it work any better than the ultrasonic cleaners that you would get from Amazon now? I might say no, because the ones now would do heat as well, but maybe this would last longer. So maybe the ones from Amazon and eBay might be designed with the actual transducer thing. They might only be designed for so many hours of use. And once the item gets to 2 years old, maybe you're on borrowed time. While with this, maybe it's designed to last for many, many, many years. So if you haven't already seen my retro watches, please check them out. Mike's a lovely guy. And thank you, Mike, for sending this one and the other one over. I will look at the other one now in about a week or so. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a massive thumbs up, and I'll be back very soon on another, hopefully, trying to fix video. Take care, everyone.
Leaving all my worries, I prepare for something new. Whatever it was that held me back, I'm sure it wasn't true. Holding on too long and unresolved questions hold you down. What could have been a friendly smile has turned into a frown. I'm moving on and on. On and on. I'm moving on and on. On and on. I'm driving in my car, the road is long and full of dust. The landscape changes around me, on and on, I feel immersed.